And my next question is for Michael Bisping. Michael, do you believe that a win over GSP will get you in the conversation for being one of the greatest of all time, or do you think people will continue to not give you the respect you deserve?
Yeah, I mean, it should. It definitely should, because, for all my talk, George is an incredible opponent. We'll see. We'll see. That's not what I'm concerned about for this fight. Obviously, I want to defend the belt. I want to remain the champion. I want to represent my country, and I want to perform for everyone that tunes in and watches. If I get more respect afterwards, that's all well and good. That's fine. What we should do, though, is ask George about his long-term mentor, Christophe Madou, did a podcast recently. It was in French, so maybe you guys didn't pick it up, but he said that he had to leave the camp, George, because he was sparring so bad and he was slow and he didn't like the way George was performing. What do you say to that, George? What's your response, man?
We'll find out November 4. You'll see how I perform.
Oh, come on. Your own mentor is talking shit about him, saying he's performing like crap in sparring and he's really slow. And we've all seen in the promos, George, you do look slow, man. You look slow. So maybe get jumping rope or skipping or something. Do some footwork drills.
One last question, Mike. You mentioned representing your country. When you look at the state of British MMA as you kind of move into the latter stages of your career, would you say one of your biggest accomplishments is being the torchbearer for the UK and the UFC for the last decade?
Yeah, I guess without a shadow of a doubt. I mean, I don't really try and think about those things too much. I don't try and think of what I've accomplished and whatnot. But if I sit back and think about it, yeah, I mean, I've always been proud to represent England. Of course, being the first world champion from Britain, that's something I'm very proud of. The UK MMA scene is booming. We have tremendous fighting talent, and we have a solid presence now. Of course, on the more localized UFC shows, we see great talent on display all the time, and it's just going to get better and better. I mean, England has a steep history in combat sports, of course, with the heavyweight boxing scene. The British heavyweight boxing scene is the best it's ever been right now. It's absolutely thriving, and similar with MMA, I'm just proud to be a part of it and, representing the country.
Thanks, guys. Best of luck next week.
Thank you.
Once again, if you would like to ask a question, please press star 1 at this time. We will take our next question from Chris Clark with MMA.Wreckage.com. Your line is open.
Hi, good evening, gentlemen. The first question here is going to be for Michael Bisping. I'm just wondering, did you listen to the conference call yesterday? I believe Cody Garbrandt said that him versus TJ Dillashaw is the real main event. I'm just curious to get your response on that.
Yeah, listen, I've never paid to watch somebody that's the size of my leg in my life. And, Cody needs to spend less time plucking his eyebrows and more time living in the real world, because it ain't the main event. Simple as that. So he can fucking dress it up however he wants, Cody. I love Cody. Cody's awesome. He's an amazing fighter, but don't talk shit about me, pal.
And also, in regards to this being such a big event, I mean, obviously, last year with Conor McGregor and the 2 belts and things of that nature, are you feeling any additional pressure to sell this event?
Well, I mean, I always feel that pressure. Anytime my name is attached to an event such as a fight, you want it to be successful. You want the arenas, the pay-per-view sales, the TV views, everything to be successful. Otherwise, I guess you're failing in your career. So, yeah, I mean, ultimately, the UFC are the promoters. They've done a great job in promoting this fight. I've been really busy. I've done a ton of press. But I've done a good job of managing everything. I mean, even now, I'm on a press tour in LA. Last night, I was at a Dodgers game. Last week, I was in Toronto, in Montreal. Week before Vegas. Prior to that, we were in New York. Obviously, next week is fight week. So there's been a lot of promotion, and we're doing everything we can. If we'll see what happens. It's New York City. I'm sure it's going to be a sellout come fight night. I'm sure pay-per-views are going to be good. My main job, though, is to win this fight. That's what matters. When it's all said and done, winning the fight, going down in the history books as the winner is all I care about. I say a lot of things. I goof around. I talk a lot of shit. I be a bit silly here and there. But one thing I'm very, very deadly serious about when it comes to is my fighting. I am serious about this. I'm not fucking around there. I don't fuck around in the gym. When I'm in the gym, I'm all business, So, hopefully it does well. Hopefully we set records. As long as I win, nothing else matters.
And then last question for you, Michael. So is the plan still to fight one more time in England before you retire? I believe you stated that a few months ago. Is that still the plan?
Yeah, I said a comment once, and it's kind of taken on a life of its own. I mean, you can't do this forever, and as George knows, George should have stayed retired. He would have been forever being a legend, but he didn't. He fucked it up. He's come out of retirement, and he's fallen into the trap that everyone falls into. He thinks he can beat me. He looks at me on TV and goes, oh, yeah, he's an easy fight. I'll come out of retirement. I'll beat Bisping. I'll be the middleweight champion and be a legend. And he's fallen into that trap that people fall for. But I did say in the build-up that this could be my last fight. Now, my wife and some people close to me, I've done this forever. I've been a fighter ever since I was a kid. I've been involved with martial arts and professional combat sports my entire life, and I'm almost 40 now. So you can't do it forever. And I am the champ, so I've accomplished what I want to accomplish. That said, though, I've enjoyed this training camp. I've enjoyed the process. I've enjoyed being a little bit out of shape, but now going to the peak of physical fitness. It's a great process. It feels good, knocking people out in sparring. I live for this shit. So, yeah, there'll definitely be at least one more fight. And who knows, maybe more after that. I don't know, though. I don't know. You got to know when to walk away. Right, George? You got to know when to walk away. And you should have stayed away. You should have stayed away.
All right, great. Thanks, Michael. The next question is going to be for George. George, I'm just wondering, how is this going to rate in your list of accomplishments if you're able to win this fight and win the middleweight title? Obviously, you've been gone for 4 years, kind of similar to Dominic Cruz when he came back and won the title after all those years. How is this going to rate in your list of accomplishments since you've been in the UFC?
It will be the best accomplishment of my life for sure. Nothing will come first over this. That's the best ever. After 4 years coming back like this, and I think will be the number one on my list, 100% without a doubt.
Cool. And then last question. Obviously, George, you've moved up here to 185. You're getting bigger. Is it still a plan to move down to 155? I mean, your coach suggested that you could move to 155 and you could definitely make that weight. Could you still make that weight and possibly fight Conor McGregor, for example?
Look, it took me a few months to go up. I think I'm going to stay a little bit at this weight for a little bit. I don't like it. I prioritize my health over the performance, and for me it's important. I stay healthy. I have also after my career. It's not good to lose weight and put weight. It's very bad. A lot of fighters do it, but I never been a fan of it. And I don't know. I take one fight at a time. This Michael Bisping is a problem now, and I'm gonna solve it.
All right, cool. Thank you, guys.
We will take our next question from Spencer Kite with UFC.com. Your line is open.
George, before your last few fights and during your time away, you talked a lot about your thoughts racing and your obsession with the sport and not necessarily enjoying the process. I'm wondering if that has changed heading into this fight. Are you back enjoying the training and back preparing for a fight like this?
Yeah, it's a lot more fun. The difference is, of course, it's stressful. It's hard on the nerve. But when I close my eyes and I give myself the choice, would I want to be there or not? Yes, I want to. So I don't do it because I have to. I do it because I really want to. I never been forced to do anything I don't want to in life. But I felt like I had like pressure from outside, and I was stuck into a pattern. Now I'm doing it, and I'm happier than ever.
And I know one of the other things you've talked about in coming back is that you weren't happy with how things ended. You weren't happy with how you walked away, and you wanted a different ending. You've also talked about retiring again if this fight doesn't go your way. If that's how this plays out, will you be okay with that? Will this be an acceptable ending because you've come back on your terms regardless of the outcome?
Well, it always depends how. It always depends how. I can't say right now for nothing for sure. It depends how. How it happens. Sometimes you win a fight and you could lose. Sometimes you lose, but you should have won. It depends how it happens. And how I will feel, and depend on